Okay, look at this. So this is an indicator that shows basically, did you get what percentage return or what loss did you incur from FOMC meeting to the next FOMC meeting? Very interesting indicator. Tons of signal in this, okay? So you put it on the weekly, or we could even put it on the daily. Now, let's do weekly. Okay. It's going to give you what happened after every FOMC meeting. So here's the meetings on the right-hand side. So from 129 to the current meeting, okay? We just had this one on March 19th, March 19th. If you take a look, what's been the return from meeting to meeting? So if we just look at it from this cycle, let's look at it from this cycle, okay? So we go to a bear market, okay? You get 3 in a row here. We're from FOMC meeting on the 1st of August to September 26th, you've had downside. Then from the 26th to November 7th, the next meeting, you had downside. And then from the 7th to the 19th of December, you had downside. Now, that was during a bear market, during a multi-year bear market. Fine. As soon as we come out of the bear market, okay, we start moving back up. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row, green. Okay, so I really wouldn't, I would not use these as signal because this is bear market. So I wouldn't, and this is barely any kind of return at all. If you look at it, it's here in 22 to 20. Yeah, silver's 22. Yeah, you're getting 4%, 1%, up in here, 3%, 5%. It's not a big difference. So I wouldn't use those. But let's say once we start coming out of this bear market reaccumulation, what does it look like? You get 4 in a row here, positive, 2 red, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row, positive, 1 red, 1 green, 1 red, 3 in a row, green again. Okay. Now you've had 2 in a row red, right? So from this meeting, FOMC, December 16th, we come down to the January 27th meeting. And then from the meeting from the 17th to today or yesterday, we've come down again. So we've had a return of minus 25% and minus 20%. So huge drawdowns from those two meetings. Why is there an incredible amount of signal in this? You can see that near these FOMC meeting dates, it has a lot of confluence with calling the tops or bottoms on risk assets, which makes sense because it's the market digesting the information from the Fed on a macroeconomic perspective, and then it allows investors to reposition and readjust for what they believe is going to happen next. So if you look here, this was the top, right? This FOMC meeting was literally the top on Ethereum on November 1st, 21. This one calls almost the near, the Pico top. Right, this one calls nearly the Pico low, right? Over here, same thing. Meeting calls basically the Pico low. High, low, 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 high. Like, you see what I'm saying? These things call them fantastically. So here, same thing, right? This meeting called the local low. These meetings calling these local lows, right? You get to this meeting on December, this called effectively the local top, right? So this is basically whenever we topped out on altcoins, the beginning, middle of December. And then as soon as this meeting happened, boom, huge fucking nuke. Okay? This meeting happens, huge nuke, boom. Okay? So when I'm looking at this chart and I'm saying, okay, first of all, what are the chances that we make it to the next FOMC meeting on May 5th? And we draw down a third cycle in a row. So 1, 2, red. What are the chances that we get a third red in a row? The only time we've ever had 3 red in a row was in a bear market. It's the only time it's ever happened. So in a complete bear market reaccumulation. Do I believe we're in a bear market and we're going to start reaccumulating? No, I don't. So do I believe we get a third meeting in a row where we have a lower price on this date for Ethereum than what we did over here? No, I don't believe that. Even if it happened. and we make it to May and we're at a little bit lower price on Ethereum, I don't believe that's going to happen. But even if it does, you're going to be barely any lower, and it'll be a 2 or 3%, 5% lower from where we're at here, which is good because then that means you had all this time to reaccumulate before you start getting these greens again, moving back up in here. Okay. So my guess though is that this bar is going to be a green bar here. I don't see 3 reds coming in a row. So that's good. This means that this FOMC meeting did what? Called a local bottom, a local low. This is why I'm bidding. Okay. You see this go green. I see maybe one more green up until June 16th. That's looking like a good top signal. Probably that June 15th meeting. Why is that going to be a good topping signal locally? Typically the summer times are bad for crypto. The second thing would be, at this point, June has like a 62%. We were just looking at the Fed watch tool. It has about a 62, 65% chance that we're getting a rate cut on that meeting. By the time we get closer to that date, it's going to be a 100% chance that we get a cut on that meeting if we didn't already get the cut and front ran it on May 12th, the next one. So what's going to happen if the percentage chance of us getting a rate cut on June 16th becomes much, much higher? You're going to see the market will front run that and price it in beforehand because the statistics are already out. The chances of getting a cut is going to be out already. So they're going to front run it. So when they're front running this June 16th meeting in that rate cut, you're going to see risk assets in here pumping into this meeting. And then after the announcement happens, probably get a red bar into the summertime, right? And then back up. See? So I'm looking at this as another point of confluence, again, of how things are lining up nicely for this eventual move. That's how you make fucking money in markets. You look for what the potential move is coming next, not what's happening right this second. If you were able to call this short squeeze, this big move down on risk assets, and you've been riding shorts all the way down, beautiful. You anticipated the move before it happened. Now we're at the bottom. Now you're not going to be printing on shorts. Now is not the time to be positioning short. Now is the time to be positioning long. As soon as you see the macro indicators showing that we should have another leg up, which I'm seeing, you position now for that eventual move. The move takes place, you take profits, you rotate out. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing right now. I'm calling basically this should be a local bottom, or should be the local bottom on this indicator. If I don't see a third bar coming in red, I don't. So I'm expecting we end up higher in ETH prices from here to May 5th, and then the same thing again to June. Okay, got it.